This is Will Montgomery, former Washington Redskins center.
Yo, what's good, folks? This is Trey Johnson, the headbanger, yo, and you're listening to Mess Hall with Captain and Tailgate Ted. Word.
What's going on, Rally? How was your bye week, man?
Well, peaceful. I think that sums it up. Peaceful and relaxing for a change. What about you?
It was good, man. It was good. The missus and I, we didn't go out of town like some people do during the bye week. We went to a different Wegmans. So that was kind of our highlight of the weekend, was going to a different Wegmans than the one we normally go to. So, nothing crazy. Just probably buying way too much stuff in that shopping cart and heading home and maybe eating some ice cream I probably shouldn't have got. So not much else, man.
I was gonna say, if that was your highlight, you're getting old, brother. That sounds like what old folks do. I mean, count the hairs on corn and stuff like that. I mean, that sounds good. Okay, but hey, that's at least it was better than what I did, because all the thing that I did was realistically just sit back, man, and I had to work. So I mean, other than that, that it is what it is. But I will never complain about that, because I understand what butters my bread. So, you can never complain about work.
Yeah, man, you got to pay those trips somehow. Speaking of which, when are you heading out for LA?
Wednesday.
Nice.
So this time tomorrow, I'll be in the air.
Nice. So for those wondering, it's Tuesday, December 12th at 4:36. I appreciate you guys sending in messages. We weren't going to do a show this past week because we had the bye week. We also had no game to recap this Monday. So we're recording this on Tuesday to kind of prep for this week's matchup against the Rams. So I did get to do something fun, and I don't consider it bye week, considering it was last night. So I got to go to Jingle Ball. So Hot 99.5.
What's Jingle Ball?
Hot 99.5 has a concert they put on every year. And Elizabeth, and he's a good friend. I know you see her up at the tailgate and everything else. Mm-hmm. So we're hanging out there, and they have, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 acts.
Oh, wow.
Ask me how many of these 9 I actually know.
You will do all 9, didn't you?
Who the hell is Giddle? G with apostrophes around it, IDLE. David Kushner, Melanie Martinez, NCT Dream, Dochi. I have no idea who any of these people are. I knew who One Republic was, and Jelly Roll, and Flow Rider came out to end it, which was actually nice. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So it was kind of cool seeing that. But beforehand, I'm hanging out at this place called Urban Roast downtown next to Cap One, and a guy walks up, and I'm in my straight Jingle Ball outfit. I've got I'll put a picture of it online.
Please do.
It's a llama that lights up with a beard. So he's got like Christmas lights, blanket, and everything else. It's like a stupid Christmas sweater. And one of our listeners walks up and asks if I want to take a picture with him. I really didn't want to do it because I'm wearing this crazy outfit that I didn't think anybody would see. But it was actually a lot of fun, man, running into a couple listeners in places that I had no idea that they would be. Like the country concert and hanging out at this Christmas bar is actually a lot of fun.
That just goes to show you how vast our listening audience is, man. I mean, it's really surprising. And here's the other thing that's really surprising. We were so busy doing what we were doing, it took other listeners to say, hey, you guys do realize that you've completed 100 shows. I totally forgot about it. I mean, we were just so doing and having a good time to where it didn't even register. But I appreciate everyone that came out and said, hey, you guys do realize that you did 100 shows. It's a milestone, man.
Lloyd and a bunch of other people were chiming in. It was awesome to kind of get that feedback from everybody. And I did get a couple messages from people that said they picked up some Don't Sleep Energies, and we wouldn't be able to do this without those guys. Mike over there is phenomenal. So I was at the concert last night until, I want to say midnight. Then I went to the after party, and then I got up at 5:30 this morning. So thank goodness I had those Don't Sleep Energies sitting in the fridge to help me actually get through this day, because I would be passed out right now if we were actually recording. I'd actually grab any of those.
And for everyone that's listening and viewing, if you're going to order Don't Sleep, you have to do us as well as Don't Sleep a big favor and type in DMV Mess Hall in the code section so that you can get your discount. You really, if you like Don't Sleep and you like saving money, I mean, I like both of them. So best believe I put that in the section so that I can get my discount. Get yours too. Don't be shy about it. Make it work for you the way that we make it work for us.
Yeah, there's what, 2 away games left on the schedule. So you could put an order in right now, go to don'tsleepenergy.com, get yourself some red berry shots so you can stick in your carry-on. I mean, except the one to New York. I don't know if anyone would be flying up to New York. Like, I'm
You
taking the
never
train
know.
up, you're taking the
Okay.
bus.
Actually, the
So
bus got canceled, bro.
what?
Yeah, man, the bus
Oh
got
man.
canceled. We've got let's face it, and this is something that every business owner knows about. When you have a bad product, people don't want to spend money on it. And so a lot of people said, you know what? Hey, we will not be going. And so it is what it is. It happens. It's a part of life.
I'm assuming you're still going though. I
I
mean,
will still be going.
okay.
The streak will be intact
So,
unless
uh-oh.
some unforeseen reason, i.e., weather, says don't go.
Gotcha. Well, I'll be up there. So if you're
Okay.
coming up, let me know because I want you to meet Tailgate Joe. If you think my tailgate's crazy, this guy's like Chuck Norris level. I mean, he's got a
Wow.
whole crew and they charge like $450 and like a bunch of money to do this thing. But I want you to meet Tailgate Joe when you get up there. I mean, he got pizza ovens, like custom pizzas he's making for people. It's insane. So I'm
So
looking forward to that game.
who pays $450? The average fan?
Yeah, for like a VIP tent with
Oh,
your own like beer
oh,
pong table and all this. Yeah, it's I
oh.
we don't charge at ours. So, there's zero chance I would do that, but I can't wait to see how the other half lives, especially up in Jersey.
Yeah, I definitely would want to see that. I may slide him a 20, but what can I get for 20? Like, remember Chris Rock? Let me get one rib. Good Lord, that's expensive. Let me get one rib. Can I just get a couple of ice?
I actually saw something. I think it was on, I want to say it was like the Today Show over the weekend, and they're selling ice. And I'm gonna not get it right, but it's in one of those Asian countries where they're literally grilling ice and putting seasoning on top of it and then giving it to you at a street market.
Okay,
Yeah,
seasoning on ice. All right.
it
Wow.
was. I've got ideas for the tailgate. I mean, I can definitely save some money just buying some ice and just putting some paprika on top. But it was crazy, man, because they're eating the ice with chopsticks. So it's someplace overseas where they're doing
Uh,
this. And I'll put it on the YouTube page. People can see the video. It was just, I can't believe
I,
people are paying for stuff. And
I definitely want to see it.
yeah. And speaking of paying for some crazy stuff, did you get your season ticket renewal?
Yes, I did. And I gotta tell you, bro, I wasn't happy about it. I
You and I
really,
think everybody else out there.
yeah, I wasn't happy about it. And so I'm gonna say this. I'm not one of these guys who doesn't understand economics or the economy. I do understand that. I think that what they should have done is said, hey, in the forthcoming season of 2024/25, we will be upping the tickets in February to this price if you're a season ticket holder. I think maybe I would have been able to stomach it a little bit, but no, they said, take this right now and deal with it.
Yeah, man. And that was what I was frustrated about. Like those of you that don't have season tickets, all of us season ticket holders got our invoice. It was a nice letter, and I think it was a video from Jason Ryan. I didn't bother
Right.
clicking on it.
Hmm.
I mean, a big old picture of Rally right on the front page. I mean, you need to get royalties considering they're using your likeness to sell season tickets.
And by the way, my picture is on there, but I'm not getting paid. So if you're not paying me for your season ticket holder members, okay, it's not going to come into my pocket. They just put my picture up there. Why? I don't know, but they did, and which I mean I'm happy they did, because any public pub is good pub, but not when people are wanting to spend their hard-earned money and they see my face. Now they're gonna hate me.
And I've been getting a lot. I don't want to say hate from people, but a lot of people are saying, "Hey, well, you don't have to buy your season tickets." It's like I get it. You guys don't have to buy your season tickets, but Rally and I have said plenty of times on the show, we're not going anywhere. We're going to the games. This man flies to all the freaking away games too. You know, just imagine that. But we got our invoice December 6th or December 5th. The first payment, if you're going to do a payment plan, is due December 15th. So for those of you that celebrate Christmas, your first payment's due 10 days before Christmas. And this part cracked me up. So what you get if you decide to re-up is a Commander's W chain. I mean, talk about ripping off your gimmick. The fact that they are now giving season ticket holders, if they decide to sign up by a certain point, a little baby W chain to walk around the stadium with, because we know it's not going to be anywhere near the size of yours.
No, and I guess that means that I'll be deferring.
I mean, out of all the things, because did you ever get your season ticket holder jersey from when we signed back up in like 2021 or 2022?
So I did not, because they told me that I was outside of the window. There was apparently, I think they were given, let's just say 200. I was like 220, and they were like, "Nope, you're outside of the window, so you don't get one."
Yeah, I never got mine, and I was inside the window. So it is what it is. I mean, I wasn't going to bitch about that because I've already got, a Tailgate Ted jersey. It's just kind of annoying. But if you also decide to sign up, so for those wondering, last year our season ticket prices went up. Mine were $13.09. They went to $13.99. So they went up $90, but I could choose to not get the increase if I paid the entire nut in full. So it would just go back to the regular price. This year, if you decide to pay in full, you get a gift card, not per seat. You get one gift card for your account, ranging from $100 to $500, depending on where your seats are and how much it costs for the team store. That's supposed to make us feel better for the increase. And
give me the cash.
Yeah. Oh, I'd rather have the cash because I'm on record, and I know they're not happy about this. I am not buying any more gear. I mean, this is a Washington football team Star Wars shirt that was on the discount rack in the team store, a couple of years back.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want a gift card to the team store to buy stuff that I don't know if it's going to be relevant in a couple of years, considering everything that's happening with the rebrand or another potential rebrand. So unless that gift card, I don't have to worry about it expiring, it just does me absolutely no good. I would rather get money back in the stadium on concessions. Parking's costing me $500. Maybe give me a discount on my parking pass or something like that instead. But no, they're giving it on the team store. It's ridiculous, man.
Baller.
Yeah, parking costs you the same amount, man.
Well,
no, you ride with someone else.
Luckily, I ride with Rodney. Shout out to Rodney with the Commander's truck. He can't miss that thing for a mile away. But shout out to him. But I take care of him on other things for taking care of the parking. So it's a win-win situation.
And they're also redoing the parking at the stadium, so it's no longer going to be FedEx colors. And they talked about this with fan captains a couple of years ago. They're actually instituting it now. So the purple lot is going to turn into the burgundy lot. The orange and green lot are going to turn into the gold lot. So it's just going to be burgundy and gold because that's supposed to improve ingress and egress. But regardless, my season tickets went up $300 a ticket. Right? They said the average increase was no more than 7%. Mine went up over 20%. And I don't want to get in your pocket, but I can only assume based upon where you sit that yours went up more than 7%.
Yeah, it went up. And let's just say the captain was not happy. But I understand. I don't like it, but I understand. And next time, the same way that you have these forums where you call people or send them an email, I think you might want to do that. send out an email or give us a call first and let us voice our opinion, since we are a opinion driven fan base apparently.
I get it. It's like if we want FedEx to be better, they're going to pass the buck down to us, and we're going to have to pay for it. So prices go up. We've had 2 ticket increases in 20 years. So I'm not crying over that. I'm crying over the fact that you didn't give us warning. Jets fans got their invoices in October, right? They didn't get their invoice a couple of days before Christmas. They got their invoice in October. So you can kind of budget for this.
Definitely.
And I did a bunch of media around town just kind of voicing my displeasure with it. So I don't think I'm going to get my invite into the owner's box towards the end of the season. But, I just want them to know that, hey, we get it. Stuff goes up. But we're also not millionaires. Like, you guys can just drop cash like that. All of a sudden, we're getting hit with a bill out of nowhere that we knew the bill was coming, but now the first payment is due right by Christmas. Have a little heart. Just understand that we're all not in the same financial situation that you guys are that just bought this team.
Yeah, now I won't be able to give my son the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. It's kind of.
I joked, but Christmas is canceled at the tailgates, man. I don't think we're putting up a tree. We ain't getting some presents. The missus and I are going to go up to New York. We're going to do something there. But because of this, all of a sudden, $500, $600 out of nowhere payment that we got to make, we're just not doing it because people are saying, all right, you're crazy for canceling Christmas. And this isn't going to come off well. I get 10 Commanders games. Christmas is one day of the year. So to me, those 10 Commanders games are more important than obviously December 25th. And I know it's going to piss some people off, but hey, I got to pay for my season ticket somehow. So what am I cutting? We're cutting some presents this year.
Hey, old Saint Nick is just old. That's just he'll be passing over the captain's house too. That's just how it is, bro. But hey, man, when it comes down to it, it reminds me of, and this is another topic altogether, but old people or older people on that are retired, and they say, I didn't know whether I was gonna pay my rent or my medicine. So you gotta juggle what you want to do, and so there we are, and I will be making my payment begrudgingly, but it is what it is, and I also feel as though they should have waited, and I say that they should have waited to say, hey, look, we're going to be bringing in hypothetically general manager so and so, and we're going to be making this guy our head coach. Give me something more to look forward to my payment going out of my pocket versus, hey, it's going up, so shove it or love it. Take it. That's just how it is. You force down your throat. I need to see more, because a lot of people have said, whoa, we've got a subpar or inferior product and you're raising prices. That doesn't bode well.
Well, the other part is they said they're raising prices because every home game has been a sellout. Like, it's been a sellout from a bunch of the opposing fans taking over our stadium. All the Bills fans flooded us. I mean, Bills Mafia just took over FedEx Field. The Giants fans took over. We all know the Eagles fans did. You saw all of the Dolphins fans. Miami flew north for the winter, and they took over our stadium. So you're penalizing us because all the away team fans are coming in and buying up seats. I mean, just the messaging around this. I wish they would have, talk about focus groups and this and that. I wish they would have had a fan or someone read this and how you guys are trying to justify the cost increase. It's like, oh, because you guys are sitting next to a bunch of Bills fans, we're going to raise your season ticket price up. Like, no, make single game tickets cost more money than regular game tickets. Definitely. If you have season tickets, give the season ticket holder a break for buying those season tickets. Whereas, the 49ers game, I guarantee the person sitting next to me is going to pay less than I did for my ticket, which is going to hurt.
Yeah, big time. And I always ask people, hey, man, how much did you pay for these tickets? Because the guy who used to sit next to me was a season ticket holder. Well, he's still a season ticket holder, but he puts them on the open market. And 9 times out of 10, it's the opposing team who is sitting next to me, or standing, if you will, next to me. And speaking of standing, once again, I just don't understand these ushers. Well, I do, but I don't. And it's a football game. And the young lady says, Mr. Captain, be mindful of other people behind you. And I said, we're at a football game.
Yeah.
I'm cheering. I understand, but be mindful. And so I had to turn around and say, are you guys okay with me standing? Because I will sit down, but are you? And everybody was like, we're fine. So that just kind of,
It's annoying, especially when we're getting beat like 40 points.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I hear you. I try and only stand if the people are standing in front of me, unless it's like big plays, you know, second down, third down, something going on, I'm trying to get the crowd up. But to me, if you want to sit, go sit upstairs on a club level. Because if you're downstairs and you're in the nitty gritty with, I don't want to say the real fans, but the fans down in the 100 section, 200 section, you know, we're going to stand, we're going to cheer, we're going to root for the team, or go
Get
sit
excited.
at home, sit on your couch, you know, donate your ticket. I'm collecting tickets for Wounded Warriors at this point because I'd rather them come to the game than a bunch of 49ers fans or Cowboys fans at the end of the year. And get a full tax credit on that instead of, you know, pennies of the dollar on your ticket. But I was just kind of frustrated, man, when they did that to us, because to me, this is the first strike against the Hogs, against the Harris ownership group in regards to doing the fans dirty. I expected something like this from Dan, but from the Harris group to raise prices this much. And there are a couple people out there who I won't name their names, but I know you know who I'm talking about. Their increase was 50% because their tickets were deemed touchdown club, but they were paying non-touchdown club prices. So when they got those invoices, they freaked out, man. I mean, it was, you talking a 8% increase, theirs is 50. So I can only imagine how frustrating that is.
You like take these tickets and shove it.
Yeah.
I don't need to sit in the touchdown club.
A bunch of people are saying, well, you can move sections. Yes, I understand we can move sections. I can move upstairs to the 400 level, whatever else, but I've sat with the same people in my section for 15 years now. You know, I know these people. They're like family. I don't want to move. I don't want to have to move. But, you know, if someone can't afford, but they still want to keep tickets, that's definitely an option, you know, short of giving your seats up. It was just kind of frustrating to see that come out, especially if we already recorded, so we didn't get a chance to talk about it.
Well, what I'm wondering is this. You signed a contract, which I understand, and you say, look, I just can't afford it. What are they going to do for you as far as that's concerned? That's what I like to know. Or because back in the day, hey, you couldn't pay it, so what? We're going to take your firstborn. I mean, they tried to get blood from a turnip. So I'm wondering, what is the protocol now if a person says, hey, you raised the ticket prices on me, and so I can't afford it, so what do I do?
Well, people can opt out because a lot of people didn't know that if you're on a payment plan now, your payment plan automatically renewed unless you opted out. So, I mean, to me, that was a little shady. So if someone missed the email, all of a sudden, December 15th, they're not paying attention and they get another couple $100 bill on their credit card statement that they thought was already over with by now.
And that's 3 days from now, folks.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this,
if you're listening, yeah.
Yeah. You know, make sure you check. But no, you can definitely opt out and say you don't want your tickets because I opted out of the payment plan. So you can call them to get put on a different payment plan. They will work with you on that if you don't want to make your first payment due right before the holidays. So they're willing to work with fans. They're not being I guess, just complete dicks about that process. But just the way everything kind of came down was frustrating. And speaking of frustrating, did you see the article in ESPN that was supposed to be about trading away Montez and Chase and firing Del Rio? But to me, it was kind of digs at Bieniemy by the players.
I did see that, and like you said, it was fluff, but the meat of the subject seemed as though they're talking about Bieniemy. And Ted, I mean, man, it goes back to everyone isn't going to get what they want all the time. So let's say we get rid of Bieniemy, right? Because the players say he works us too hard, or we don't like his style of coaching. What if we bring someone else in who's harder than Bieniemy? Then what do? Are you going to complain again under the new tutelage of a new head coach? At some point in time, you got to lace your bootstraps up, tighten that chin strap up, and do what you got to do as a player. Because we know that you just aren't going to be able to get everything your way when you want it.
No, you can't. And Jay Gruden they used to call it Club J with his training camps. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Bieniemy comes in here, and you got players that are bitching about how hard training camp is and about how hard they're being worked. You haven't gone 500 in for how many years now? I mean, Ron
Yeah.
Rivera hasn't gone 500 his entire tenure here. And the guys prior to that, Gruden's last couple of years were horrible. So you're upset that you're being asked to work tougher. And this is from the article. Their off day was switched from Tuesday to Monday. And Bieniemy had that set up with the Chiefs. And he basically said that, people are getting kind of in a rut and he wanted to change it up. So switching your off day, sorry, shouldn't be that big a deal. Now, this is also from the article. It says, among the players' other issues early in the year per team sources was that afternoon offensive meetings frequently ran long and got in the way if players needed treatment. Bieniemy's initial concession was to allow players to use foam rollers on the floor of the meeting rooms to save meeting time. And then another one said, in recent weeks, Bieniemy has relaxed some of the demands, including shortening Wednesday practices from 2 hours to closer to an hour and a half. I mean, you guys are getting your ass kicked up and down the field. You haven't won anything in how long?
Mm-hmm.
And you're pissed off that the coach wants to keep you there for 2 hours versus an hour and a half?
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
expect to get better as a team if you won't even do these small things off the field? I don't get it, man.
It goes back to what I was just saying, Ted. So you take away Bieniemy, but you don't know who your head coach is going to be. And if you got a hard-nosed head coach who doesn't care about that, you just jumped from the frying pan into the fire. What are you going to do? So you got to deal with it.
The grass isn't always greener. So,
No.
I mean, it's just, and this, Bieniemy was demanding this because this is what he got from the Chiefs. The Chiefs, we all know, won Super Bowls. And a lot of people now are saying the Chiefs without Bieniemy are somewhat of a shell of their former selves. I mean, did you watch that Chiefs Bills game? Did you watch any football during the bye week? It's curious.
I did, and the Chiefs have regressed. They have. I mean, they're still a powerhouse, but how they put things together, you can tell it's not the same. And is it because of Bieniemy not being there? It sure does seem like it. If we're going to look at it that way, they're so much better than what they've shown.
Did you see the last? Did you watch the Bills game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Kadarius Toney not being lined up properly.
Right.
So
but yeah.
Go
Go ahead.
Those wondering, go back. You can look it up on Twitter or anything else. I mean, the Chiefs were driving down the field against the Bills. If you guys didn't watch the game, and all of a sudden, Travis Kelce, middle of the field, catches the ball. It was almost like a hook and ladder design play where he just lateraled it back, and it was a touchdown. And they took the lead over the Bills with a minute some change left. There was a flag on the play because Toney wasn't lined up properly. And it was kind of like how Terry wasn't lined up properly against the Giants. I want to say it was last year. But they said Bieniemy would nitpick players on little tiny minute details like that because you can't afford to have something go wrong. And then you saw it on TV go wrong like that. And to me, it's those things that the players are bitching about that he's trying to drill into them. It's like all the small details. And they're working past midnight during the week. And the players are bitching about being there for 2 hours instead of an hour and a half while the coaches are there past midnight and getting there first thing in the morning before the players even get there. I just feel that our players are soft, man. It's I mean, like marshmallow soft. It's ridiculous.
This is one of those things to where I always say that some of this stuff should be held in-house because ultimately the fans don't have a say. We don't have a say on who we can be there, who cannot be there. But if we did have a say, the fans would say, get those guys out of here. We love you, but at the same time, we want to see a winning tradition on the field. And if you're complaining, the fans would say leave. And I'm sure that if this was a fan-run team, a lot of these guys probably would not be here. But that's the reason why we don't have a fan-run team because we fans have stuff on our shoulder and we let it go. So realistically, now's not the time to complain. It isn't.
No, it's not. And I mean, it just to me it screams loser, that this team
Mm-hmm.
is a loser. And I feel their comments have come out. You know, we all know Ron has gone at the end of the year. So
Yeah.
comments have come out that he has just completely lost the ability to motivate these players, that he doesn't really have them buying in to what he's trying to tell them because they all know he's not going to be around anymore. And Montez Sweat is in Chicago. He's actually doing really well, just got that big fat check. These are some comments that he made to a reporter in Chicago about how things are different where he is now. Let me play him real quick.
Where I came from, it was, you know what I'm saying, it was kind of like just waiting on the season and kind of. But here it's like every week, you know, it's a new challenge and people want to play for the man beside them, man. That's what I'm here for.
Waiting on the season to end. I mean, honestly, I feel that he's telling the truth. I feel that
Mm-hmm.
everyone is just waiting for the season to end. And the Bears, you know, hopefully they keep winning because we're competing with them for a higher draft pick. But the Bears right now, standing wise, trying to see where they are. I mean, they are 5-8. So they're doing better than we are. But I don't feel that Tez is talking crap about us. I think he's telling the truth. I mean, what do you think?
I think it's a little bit of a dig. I think he's telling the truth, but at the same time, I'm gonna get my dig in because he saw what the, if you want to say, culture was here or is here. He was been a part of it for all these years. He understands it. So if anybody can say it, I appreciate him saying it because maybe that puts some people on notice, Ted. I really think that, you know, you need to put people on notice. You need to let them know the way you're doing it isn't working. And I pray to you that the new general manager, the new head coach, whomever we're gonna bring in, can get the best out of these guys, and we have a motivator among men. That's what I'm hoping, so that if a guy does leave after the new regime comes in, he can say, "No, these guys are about business." And I don't know who that is that you can bring in to say that, but when the person leaves here to go to another squad, they won't be making these type of statements. They will definitely say, no, the Commanders or Washington football team or whomever our name is or whatever, those guys meant business. And so you better, as they always say, bring your pail, bring your lunch pail to work when you work for these guys. That's what I want to hear versus we kind of just look past it, everything, and because it's so defeatist, and oh man, it burns me up. I don't even want to talk about it.
It really is, man. It's frustrating because the players are miserable. The whole town's miserable. All we can do is just wait for the season to end. And I really don't think Tez is just throwing digs in there. I mean, he's talking about the guy beside you fighting for you. And we've got John Allen talking about how he thinks about not playing here, about talking to his agent and being traded at the end of the season. And it's coming to his mind. And you cannot say that as a team captain. And I don't want to rehash a past episode, but to me, Tez's comments echo that your team captain, and I don't want to say this is what John's doing, but everyone's just waiting for the season to end, just waiting to move on and going from there. And I was thinking about this, like, to me, when I think of the past coaches, obviously, Coach Gibbs saved this, made this franchise what it was. What is Ron Rivera's legacy going to be when he's gone from here? When we go back and look at the Ron Rivera era here, what would you remember fondly of? And what would I just kind of think of his overall legacy here that he's kind of known for after the fact?
The first thing I'd say is him taking the job. I was very excited for him to take the job. After that, I'm going to say his lack of picking talent. That's what I'm going to say. Coming here, I was ready to run through a brick wall for him. And after 4 years of us picking non-starters, if you will, who just haven't played up to their potential. we've got all these picks, but they just didn't play to their potential. And I think that's what's going to be his downfall, or in my eyes, his legacy.
Yeah, I'd say some of the best players on this roster are ones that were drafted by Gruden and the previous regime. I mean, John, Duran, those weren't picks by Rivera. You know, Terry wasn't a Rivera pick.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, Curtis Samuel was a free agent that came in. Curtis Samuel's, I think, the only free agent that was actually decent that Rivera brought in. And there was a tweet, I'll see if I can find it, that someone put out there that I tweet way too much. So I'm not sure if I can actually find this damn thing. But it was a list of all of Rivera's free agents that he had brought in here. And it was sad to look at this list. I mean, Rivera, the person, great person. And the fact that he had to go through cancer and chemo and COVID and trying to bring this team through COVID and losing our name and the ownership scandals and everything else, I don't think there are very many people that could have handled that as gracefully as he did. But Rivera, the GM, the personnel manager, the coach in general, the head coach of this team, he failed flat out. And, you know, we've brought it up numerous times. The only reason we got in the playoffs is because Doug Peterson benched Jalen Hurts and wanted a better draft pick. You know, realistically, it has been an abject failure. And this was from Commander Sean. Notable free agent signings under Ron Rivera. William Jackson III, bust. Ryan Fitzpatrick, bust. Charles Leno, jury's out. Bobby McCain, bust. David Mayo, bust. Joey Sly, depends on the day. Andrew Norwell, bust. Trey Turner, bust. Andrew Wiley, not working out. Nick Gates, not working out. Cody Barton, not working out. Only one on here, really? Curtis Samuel. I mean, these are the guys that they brought in here. And the players that we've lost, Brandon Sheriff, right? Tim Settle, DeAndre Carter, Morgan Moses, Dustin Hopkins, Ioannidis, Trent Williams. I mean, those are some. Morgan Moses is still kicking ass up in Baltimore, right up the freaking road.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I get Sheriff got paid a ton of money, but you let these guys walk. And I'd kill to have Tim Settle back right now. I just feel that he had heart that people just kind of rallied around. And for me, his legacy is one of just losing. And I also blame him for, I hate to say it, but I blame him for this Commanders name. I don't think we would be the Commanders if Ron Rivera was not the head coach when we went through this rebrand.
You don't think that? You really?
I really don't think that. I think because Rivera's got so many close ties to the military, he wanted it to be military themed. And I think that's why we're the Commanders. The fact that you had your head coach and GM making decisions around the brand of your franchise, where they're going to be here permanent and we're going to be here forever, was asinine to me. I did not get why they were letting Rivera do that. And you saw the making the brand videos and this and that, where they accidentally leaked the name of the freaking team on the damn video. I mean, it's just, it's dumbfounding.
It is. And we're going to be moving past that. We're going to be moving past that. And man, when you bring it back up, though, it's hilarious. It really is. I mean, it's sad, but hilarious at the same time. I mean, they tried to hide it, but we got some sleuths. Our fan base, boy, we got some serious sleuths, and they were able to picture that and say, oh, and then they tried to cut. I think they did a retake of it or something. They tried to cover it up, but by that time the cat was out the bag, and then freaking what is it, Sky 4 or Fox 5, whatever have you,
Chopper Brad from Channel 4.
Yeah, Channel 4 is flying over and saying, oh, there it is. We see. Didn't think about covering that up. So we've had a lot of blunders on the way. I mean, too many to even freaking talk about. And that's why we're hoping that, you know, as you said, the Hog group, the Harris-Owner group, they've already rubbed us the wrong way this first go around, and you've got to make up for it. Everything that you do from this point on has got to be a hit. It just does. Otherwise, you're going to have this fan base looking at you side eye, because that shininess is wearing off. We understood that nothing much could be done because you basically had 30 days to deal with a brand new team. We got it. But now, come January the 9th or 10th or whatever that date is, the fans are going to expect excellence,
Yeah, they definitely
greatness.
are. And
Yeah.
Josh Harris met with, I'm trying to remember who it was. It was some conference downtown DC. It was a sports business journal conference. And Josh Harris was on stage speaking. And he has one quote at the end saying that it's a long journey. There's no shortcuts to the top. There's shortcuts to the middle. You want to be 8-8, I can get you there quickly. 8-1, you want to be great, there are no shortcuts. And I completely get that. It's going to take time. And you have time, at least from me, to get this right, because I'm sick and tired of mediocrity. I'm sick and tired of us
Mm-hmm.
being just good enough to potentially have a December game that means something and then get killed. And then we don't get a good draft pick. Let's be bad to be bad right now. Potentially, we could get the 3rd pick in the draft. I don't think we're going to get as high as 2, but we could get as high as 3. And then hopefully draft someone that the GM and the coach want, and they're going to be the cornerstone of this team. I mean, to me, that was Trent Williams when we had Trent. He was your freaking foundation. And I don't know if we're going to take a left tackle or what we're going to do, but I agree with, Josh, when he says, no shortcuts, 8-1. I don't want to be 8-1. I want us to get back to what it used to be back at RFK. And who knows if we'll actually get back there. It's just these next couple of weeks being in limbo. Like, what are you rooting for? What are you cheering for? Like, did you watch the Rams and the Ravens game?
I did watch a little bit of that. And, the Rams looked to be a pretty good opponent. They took it to the wire. If it hadn't been for that return punt,
76-yard walk-off punt. I mean,
yeah,
and that's their backup kick returner. That wasn't even their starter because the starter was
Mm-hmm.
hurt. And for those that didn't see it, I mean, the Rams, they were definitely in contention to win that game. And they had actually, I think they won 3 games straight. So the Rams are 6-7 right now. They beat the Seahawks twice. They beat the Colts. They beat the Cardinals twice. And they beat the Browns. So I don't want to say they beat a bunch of juggernauts. I mean, the Seahawks, we didn't beat them. We did beat the Cardinals. But the Colts and the Browns, not really the toughest. Where would you think they are on the NFL power ranking list?
The Colts and Browns?
No, the Rams.
The Rams. Well, give me where they were. How about that? Can you give me that?
Where they were prior to the game?
Yes.
See here. I'm not sure if I can give you that one.
Okay.
No, I got you. So actually, they did not move after they lost to the Ravens.
They didn't move. And that's only probably because of the teams that have played. No one has made enough of an impact to be able to move. What number were they?
I'll tell you what number they were, then you know what it is.
Well, I tried to slide it in there.
You almost got me there. I'll let you know what they were in week 10. How about that?
Okay.
All right. In week 10, let's see here. Let me see if I can find.
I tried.
In week 10, they were 3-6, and they are ranked 27th in week 10.
Ooh, okay. That was week 10.
That was week 10.
Here we are.
In week 15 now.
15, yeah. I'm going to say that they were probably 24 now.
Close, man. Close. So 24 is your final?
Yeah.
You want to up it or move it a little bit?
Well, I mean, 25. Okay. What are they?
Man, almost. So they are 20th on the list.
Huh.
So plus or minus 3, not bad. It says here, the Rams will look back at the missed opportunities in their valiant OT loss at Baltimore and weep. Unable to get stops on either Lamar Jackson's late touchdown pass on 3rd and 17 or the 2-point conversion. The secondary had a rough day overall, allowing 2 busted coverage touchdowns in the first half. The Rams offense was mostly terrific, and Cooper Kupp had his biggest game in more than a month. But 4 straight second half punts prevented them from seizing control when given the chance. They certainly rued the third down sack Matthew Stafford took in that range of the game immediately after the Baltimore safety, knocking them out of field goal range. The Rams can still get in the playoffs, and the schedule isn't terrible, but this felt like a missed opportunity to steal one against a quality opponent. So I don't want to say the Rams are desperate, but it's 6-7 right now. Their backs are against the wall. They can't really afford to lose, and they've got a soft Commanders team flying cross country coming to town that's complaining that the coach is keeping them an extra half hour, that they don't want to be there. So
it doesn't sound good, but
No.
it's in the making for them to come out victorious. Although we have seen stranger things. I never would have thought that Chicago would have beat Chicago beat Green Bay. I never would have thought that. I never would have thought that Miami would have lost to Tennessee, but hey, it happens. And but they are in playoff contention. We technically, mathematically, are still in it.
We are. Mathematically, we're still in it.
We still are. However, attitudes, I think, dictate that we're out of it. But those guys are still, for the most part, in playoff contention, and they're going to be playing hard. It's at their house, which I can't wait to see. By the way, I really am looking forward to that. And as I told everyone, if we lose, what did you do prior to that? Did you enjoy your experience? So that's going to be the biggest thing: enjoying your experience with fellowshipping with fellow Commanders fans, and seeing a new stadium on the road. But those guys, no, this could be my first time.
Oh, nice. So add that to the list.
Oh, definitely. Get stitched into the flag when we get back. Can't wait.
You got to take a video of the flag getting stitched, man. I'm not sure if you have before, but I'd love to see like a video of the detail of whoever. Are you the one stitching it, or
no?
Is Mrs. Rowley doing it, or
I take it to an embroidery shop.
Oh, actually, speaking of which,
yeah.
If you do re-up your tickets, is Mrs. Rowley going to get the mini chain to wear, the $25 chain you get?
She doesn't believe in stealing my thunder. Okay. So I'm going to say no, because she just doesn't. She said, that's your thing. I will never step on your style. And so I wish 100,000 people would think the same way.
Yeah, I mean, the entire stadium's gonna have freaking chains now, so it's gonna be ridiculous. But I'm jealous that all of you guys are getting to go out to LA, enjoy some nice warm weather, see a brand new stadium, and hopefully envision what ours is going to be like whenever we get one. And if we win, then great. But I'm not holding my breath.
No.
I mean, we're 6.5-point dogs. The over/under right now is what, 48.5? I mean, we put up 25 points the past 2 games. So, and we've got 90 put up the past 2 games. I'm not sure how to feel. The last 3 games, the Rams are averaging 34.7 points a game. Stafford got hurt during the year, but he's got 19 touchdowns and 9 picks. So he's doing well. And he doesn't get rid of the ball as quickly as Tua does, but he's getting that ball out of there fast. You're talking 2.7 seconds.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say that the last time we played the Rams was at the Coliseum, and I did go to that game, and we won. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I feel as though, like they said, so you saying we got a chance. We've always got a chance anytime you lace the boots up. So we'll see what they say. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, I mean, to me, we got a chance, but realistically, Cooper Kupp is back. And
he really is.
Some of the throws that Stafford made to Kupp, where they were nowhere near looking at each other, and he just trusted him to run out there. I mean, that touchdown that Kupp had was freaking unreal. And there was a 3rd and long where, I mean, that DB he just got burned completely. And I'll see if I can put them on the YouTube. But I am concerned about our secondary. And if they try and shut down Kupp, then they got this freaking kid, Puka Nacua,
Cool, yeah.
that's kicking ass over there. And they've also got Kyron Williams. The only reason I know about him is because he's on my fantasy squad, and he came back, and he's actually doing really well. So they've got their, definitely work cut out for him going out there to LA. It's not an unwinnable game. I wanted to go out to LA originally before I had to cancel Christmas because the Commanders screwed me over. Because I thought that, hey, I could see the new stadium, and the Rams aren't the Rams from a couple years ago when they were just walking up and down people. But I also feel that the Rams are peaking at the right time. And
I agree with you.
Our body language is, like Tez said, let's just get the season over with.
But that's how all of us are feeling. So it's part for the course. I've never played NFL ball, but I've played on enough teams to know that when you're at this part of the season, you're just like, okay, Heavenly Father, just allow me not to get injured and let me just go through this because I've got Bora Bora on the mind or the Maldives on the mind, or somewhere in the Pacific Islands.
I wish, man. I'm going to Ocean City, Maryland. I can't afford no Maldives. Yeah, there's zero chance. But I think guys are just trying to get through the year.
Yeah.
Not hurt. And speaking of which, Jamin Davis, done for the season. He's on IR. He had to undergo surgery for a shoulder problem. I guess that he happened against the Dolphins. And he played in 55 of the 61 snaps. So I don't know exactly what happened, but this is Ron talking about Jamin's status and kind of when everything went wrong.
And then with Jamin, the plan to replace him, is it going to be David Mayo? And when did he get hurt, and what's the loss there for him?
Well, the biggest thing more than anything else was, it happened during the game, and he came off for a second. They checked him, and he said he was fine. He went back out there, finished the game, but he was still having a little bit of trouble the next morning. And so they examined him, and then they felt that he needed to get an MRI. And after getting the MRI, they got for a second opinion, and then it went from there. So it was unfortunate. Young man's done a great job for us, and really excited about who he is becoming as a football player. Playing the Will backer for us, he's done a great job. He had to play a little bit of the mic in some of the situations when Cody was down, but that's all part of his growth and learning, and he's done a nice job.
So it's Mayo and Barton that are going to be out there trying to cover Kyron Williams and slow down this Rams defense or offense. And I'm not holding my breath on that. But one thing that is interesting is the team has until May 2nd to exercise Jamin's fifth-year option. So linebacker fifth-year option, not as crazy as a fifth-year option that they were going to have to exercise for Chase. If they decide to do it, then it's projected that his salary is going to be $13.3 million.
You as a fan, would you do it?
I wanted to look and see what linebackers are getting paid and the top linebackers right now.
Okay.
But to me, he has not lived up to his draft position. He definitely has not lived up to the 19th pick in the draft. There's zero chance. I don't think anyone would say he has. And for the amount of money it's going to cost, $13 million, I feel like that's kind of cheap. So if you can keep him at that point, and he shows flashes, man, down in LA, Atlanta, and he's covering Bijan, and he's there, and he's able to pick the ball off and do stuff. But I feel like for every step forward he takes 3 or 4 steps back. I mean, Saquon burning him, just owning him both games. It's frustrating.
But Saquon is just a beast all in itself. I mean, the guys were having a hard time covering him last night. So, but I hear you. You don't want to hear that when it's your linebacker that's getting toasted. So do you look at someone else, who a faster guy that can cover? I mean, we've got so many possibilities in 2024, and I hate to continue to say that, but that's where my focus is. As a fan, I wear 2 hats, Ted, and I'm sure you probably do as well. As a fan, I want us to win games, but my management hat says lose these games. I really do feel that way. Fan, I want us to win all the games, but my manager hat says lose these games. Let's get out of this season and let's get ready for the rebuild. That's how I really feel, man.
The only person I want to see something from is Sam. That's it.
Yeah.
Because Jamin, and this is, these are PFF grades. His rookie year, he got a 46.8 for the year. It's his rookie year. I get that. 2022, they gave him a 62.9. This year, he's got a 67.6. I mean, his best game that he got graded was the Falcons game at that point. And he's just been up and down. It's just the inconsistency from his game. The worst grade he got this year was against the Eagles, a 50, and then Dallas, a 50.1. I need to see more from him consistently, and I don't think we're going to see that. And now he's done for the year, so we're definitely not going to see it.
He's done. It goes back to what we've said all season. We are consistently inconsistent. And that goes for everyone on the team. I mean, look at the numbers that Terry's putting up. Look at what Jahan is putting up. I mean, you would have thought that these guys would have had all kinds of crazy catches, but here we are, and we're saying, are they really worth the money? I never thought I would say that about Terry or Jahan or anybody else. Are these guys really worth that amount of money that we're paying them to produce as little as they have?
Yeah, I mean, Jahan at least is a rookie, so you're not having to worry about that there. But Curtis Samuels, he's going to be a free agent at the end of this year. Do you bring him back? What are you going to do? Terry signed that big deal, so it's just another new system coming in, and really, I don't think we're going to see. And we know what we have in Terry, in my opinion, but I don't think we know what we have yet in Sam. And from a grade perspective, he's been all over the map too. I mean, he has a kick-ass game against the Seahawks, making the most beautiful throws that I don't think I could ever see anyone else make. Then he's just a stinker against the freaking Giants and Tommy DeVito. But is that more so on Sam, or because of the offensive lineman he's surrounded by, or because of Eric Bieniemy's refusal to change up the script and just be so adamant? And then we see him, in the Bills game, throw how many picks and should have been taken out of that game. So now he actually has to go up against the Rams, who have a pretty good defense. Yeah, Aaron Donald. I mean, defensively, the Rams are giving up, they're 18th. They're giving up 339 yards a game. In the air, they are allowing 226.7. So they're 20th. So, I mean, that pass rush, though, Aaron Donald coming up to get us, I'm concerned. Are we going to get a real chance to actually evaluate Sam because of the teams we're going up against? We still got to deal with Chase coming back to FedEx. And he's going to be hungry, and Bosa and everyone else over there. But I don't know. The next couple of games, I don't want us to win. I'm sorry. I don't. To me, it gets us absolutely nothing. But I want to see Sam do as well as he possibly can so we can finally put to bed, whenever the draft is, when we get that pick, should it be a quarterback or should it be a left tackle or something else? And there are fans out there that want Marvin Harrison Jr. And I want to smack him, man. And I'm not into, I'm just like, wake up. We don't need another wide receiver here that can't block or do anything. And I understand Marvin Harrison Jr. is being compared to Calvin Johnson, but what did Detroit win with Calvin Johnson?
Yeah. I need linemen. I need the big beefs up front. I got to have that to protect him. But that's another thing that I was going to say. We talk about you want to see Sam do better, but realistically, is he going to be able to do better? That's the question. Exactly. We don't know. And there's a part of me that feels that we should save him. I mean, let him play, but at the same time, if he's getting killed and he's supposedly our future, no matter who you put back there is going to get killed.
I don't know if he's our future, is my thing. I'm not sold on Sam being the future. If you get a chance to draft someone this high, I think you have to take it in regards to a quarterback, because you never know if you're going to be up here again, the second pick, the third pick, the fourth pick in the draft, if you get a chance. And, right now, draft order wise, we're fourth. And I think you got the Panthers that are going to get first. You've got the Patriots that are going to get second. I can't see them winning any more games. And I can't remember who's third, but right now we're fourth. And I don't want to let someone slip through our hands at that point that could be a potential Tua. is what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, we that's the beautiful thing about this, man. And I keep saying that 2024, here we come. What are our talent evaluators going to say? What's our general manager going to say? What are they going to do? And it's going to be interesting, man. And I for one, I can't wait. But I still want us to win. It's my fan
I hear you.
aspect.
I hear you. To me, right now, the Cardinals are third, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Bears are fifth. I can see the Bears winning a couple more games. I can see the Cardinals winning a couple more games. The only game I'd say I want us to win is that Cowboys game at the end of the year, just because I don't want to deal with their fans in the stands. But realistically, other than that, I just want us to go into this offseason and let our GM get as much clout as he possibly can, draft pick wise, because we're a sexier destination the higher the pick we get. So I'm not talking about like free agent talent. I'm talking coaching talent. You know, there's going to be a lot of jobs that are opening up. And hey, would you want to come here where you got this potential third round pick in the draft? Or what do you want to do? And in regards to Sam, he's going to be running for his life against Aaron Donald.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, is he recognizing where the blitz is coming from? Is he making the right decisions? If he can't, let's just say it's a 3-step process. If he can hit step 1 and step 2, and he doesn't get to step 3 and actually complete that pass, if he can show me he can do 1 and 2 like consistently, then that's a different story. And I'm not going to blame him about 3 because his offensive line's crap. But if he knows where the blitz is coming from and he makes the right read, but can't actually get it there because his receiver's not getting separation, then that's another story. So
I think we've seen that though already.
Not consistently enough for me.
Okay. And I don't think that you're going to get it consistent these games either, because as you just said, the pressure he's going to be under. I just don't think that it's plausible or feasible, but we will see. I'm like you, man. My hat goes off to the kid, and I hope that he can pick up the blitz. I hope he can change the coverage. I hope he can do all of that type of stuff. But we've seen on average, he has a difficult time doing it. But I'm still trying to ride with him though, because maybe experience is the best teacher.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I'm glad that he got reps. And I was shocked to see Jacoby Brissett come in that last bit of the Dolphins game, considering he's gotten beaten up all year. And he didn't take as many hits in that game, but they put Brissett in. So I don't understand why they did that, because Ron, all post-game press conferences was, nope, we're keeping Sam in there because we want him to get the experience. And then all of a sudden now you want to take his ass out. But it's Ron, it's whatever at this point. But for you, I understand you want to see him win. Who is your Don't Sleep Energy player or players of the week to make that happen?
I'm going to have to see some secondary, some great footwork, great hands. Secondary has got to happen, make it happen. I think our front 4, front 7, I think they'll be okay, but that passing attack scares me. So my DBs and safeties, I got to see it.
Yeah, I was going to go secondary, but really, they can cover all day long, but eventually you can't cover. Eventually you can't cover all day long. You know, you need to get that ball out of Stafford's hands. And John, Duran haven't done anything. And they're complaining now about getting double teamed because you don't got Chase and Tez there. Well, you guys are getting paid a ton of money. And you're here to make plays. You haven't made any.
Fight through it.
Let's see what you can do. Because you know who's also getting double teamed all the time? Aaron Donald. And he's still making a freaking impact every single chance he can get.
Triple team. Yeah.
So
I saw where you got triple teamed.
Yeah. And John's talking about potentially not wanting to be here and this and that. Prove you still want to be here. Do something on Sunday. Actually show up and show out. And we'll see what happens from there. Maybe, you know what, John? You're auditioning for a job too with this new GM, because your contract ain't guaranteed anymore. And a lot of people are saying that he came out with those comments just as a contract ploy, because his contract isn't guaranteed and there are other guys getting paid more than him. Sorry, that's just the NFL. You sign a contract now, a guy signs it later on, he's getting paid more than you. That's just the way it works. But
a week later, yeah.
If you actually produce and do something, then maybe you don't got to worry about it. And then that contract will work itself out. But I have not seen anything out of John to make him an actual leader on this team right now. And I need to see that if we're actually going to win this game. I mean, prediction wise, I'm taking the Rams. I can't take us to win this game. And part of me wants to put money down on the Rams to cover the 6.5 points just because of how much we've lost lately. But you're flying out there. What are you thinking?
I think the Rams come away with this just because of the players wanting to get through the season. That's how I look at it. But I will say that my DraftKings will have Pakua. I'm butchering his last name, but
Nakua,
my draft anytime touchdown score, I'm feeling that.
That's actually not a bad idea, man. Because I was looking today to see the props, but it's Tuesday, so there aren't a ton of them in there. But at least get some money in your pocket and help pay for that trip. That'll be a good time. Because Nakua and Cooper Kupp, maybe a little parlay on the Rams to see what happens there. But are you going on the field?
I don't know.
So
I never know until later on. But go ahead.
You got to get some of those SBEvent.net stickers, man, or something for the players, because Bora Bora, Maldives, they can afford that trip. I can't. So just a couple more weeks so they get to go on vacation.
Yeah. Well, hey, that would be lovely for that to happen. But what will happen is we're bringing another show to an end, and I greatly appreciate you riding with us this far, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I really do appreciate it. Myself, Tailgate Ted, we are here for you, as well as I know you are here for us. So we thank you for making this journey with us. 100 episodes. Now we're on 101. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Hey, remember, guys, you rep it hard. You don't rep it at all. Tailgate Ted, Rally Captain, 101st show. We're out.